risk of making myself look like a big girl's blouse, I just want to say that
you don't want to go down in the basement.
I don't want to go down in the basement. I came in here to go upstairs.
Yeah, you can, but just look in the basement too.
I don't want to look in the basement, Claire. Your hair looks nice.
Does it?
Yeah.
Covered in dust.
How's it got covered in dust?
I've got him to look at that email.
I've looked at the email.
Which email?
The email from Maria
Mary.
saying, can I answer lots of questions? So I said, Dear Mary, thank you for your email. How does your garden grow? This is to acknowledge your questions. The receipt of your questions. Rupert.
Really?
Yeah.
So now I'm trying to get him to go down into the basement so that he can answer the questions. But he's being scared of the basement and just wants to go upstairs, not downstairs.
Why is it crazy?
Because they want to upgrade the tails.
Oh, right, yeah.
And it's not like there's just one pair of tails there.
Right.
There's umpteen pairs of tails, and they're all in trunking, which I put up, and you know, and then they go into loads of different Okay, just walk off. Bye. It is boring. I agree. I wasn't, but I'm not. Yeah.
Sorry.
I'm just telling you why I'm scared to go in the basement.
Upstairs is a job. Upstairs is a big job too.
Bliss thought they meant extend the tails from 16mm to 25mm long.
Oh, so that's just pathetic.
And I thought she meant that as well. Now we realise they mean upgrade the tails. I'm less enthusiastic about avoiding it. Well, I mean, just as enthusiastic about avoiding it. But...
Right, well, I'll leave you to wait.
Hello, doglet. Hello, doglet. Doglet. Hello, little doglet. Oh. Oh. Hello, little doglet. 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 Oh. 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 Morning. Collingwood make a new commercial light called Thea. It's a downlight. It's 150mm diameter and it's tricolour, so you can select the driver. I think just beyond the driver there's a little box with a switch on it. Warm white, cool white, or neutral. I'm going to have to, I selected neutral, but I'm going to take them all down and put them down as warm whites because it's a living room, and I think the client would prefer the warm white. They weren't sure before. But the thing I want to show you is the driver has nowhere to do the loop in for the CPC, and it really is. It's just not. It's not really on. I don't think. I've done my fair share of bodging over the last week or so. Those CPCs on the Collingwood lighting I've just twisted together. They're pretty firm, but twisted together outside the driver. and twisted it together, and I've bent it back along the sheathing of the cable, and then taped it. To me, that was better than sticking it in a Wago with earth sleeving on it and having that sort of wanging about. It's a first for me anyway. Another thing that I've done, which I'm not proud of, is among a number of consumer units I put in for Kingfishers last week, Monday, I didn't extend any of the, I extended a few of the tails, the final circuits, but trying to get them in, it was so tight, and I left it. It was a rat's nest. I've created a rat's nest in a property on a consumer unit, which I'm not proud of either. So, oh well, what can you do? You're constrained by time, you're constrained by what you've got in the kit to do the job. And I had to get on to another job to help my colleague out, so that's why a rat's nest ensued. Last. I don't think I've got a key to this. I've got a key. Okay, so here's the Theas, and here's so I had to stitch the cables through underneath the joists, which I routed out using a half-round router. So here are the joins, and as you can see, there's not really any anything designed in to allow you to sheathe within the enclosure. I don't think that's very good, but that's the way it is. And there's no loop in, loop out for the CPC, which has to be joined separately.
Holiday, yes. England has been, since Roman time, a place to live. That's why it's called England.
England?
Angel land, isn't it?
Is it?
Yeah. It's got fantastic climate, long days in the summer, not too cold in the winter. And if you're clever, you can, as a farmer, you can have 3 harvests in 1 year.
That would be clever.
Without the disadvantage of having heat waves and droughts.
But engineering tools,
Yeah, it's
until the 80s were, well, in the 80s were hugely expensive.
Yeah.
a collet set I wanted for one of my lathes. The lathe I had then was £450 in the 80s. You can now buy it, a better one, for 100, 120, something like that. Okay, I've got all the biscuits back in. Ready for plastering, and we've got an extension box on this because it was only 15mm back box. Stupid, or 16mm back box. We've got this all connected up. Then this mess in here, the kitchen loo just before I arrived, and we came across this and nothing working. So I mean, these are mine. I've put these on. They were all done up with chocolate boxes. I've just put these on while I'm sorting out what cables are what. Of course, black neutral, so-called neutral, are at 230 volts until they're connected into the neutral bus bar at the consumer unit. So that's what was confusing Harry, who'd been trying to fiddle around with the cables here. He kept getting shock off the neutral, which was just a disconnected the end of the circuit from the other room, which was obviously held at 230 volts when the switches in there were on, and there's nowhere for that voltage to ground when the neutral is. So it's quite complicated when you've got lighting circuits and not all the colours corresponds to the voltages you'd expect at them. Switch lines not being sleeved, and so forth. So what I've got to do is connect this up and enclose it somehow. I'm not quite sure how I'm going to do that yet. And then we can close up here, and Harry's put these downlighters in, not me, and then start getting the job to completion. Unfortunately, I've got two more of those Collingwood lights still on order, on back order, so we're still waiting for them. I'll have to come back and put them back in.
Mr. Rogers, what's the role? I'm the doctor we spoke on the phone.
Oh, so you're Dr. Chandler?
Yes, this is my wife, Mrs. Sharma.
Very pleased to meet you.
Carmine, please.
I'm Carwin, and this is
My dear. We're so relieved you came.
How quickly can you set up?
Get my list for me, love. What an hour.
Good. I'll let everyone.
So right round his house, he's built this enormous conservatory. Can keep logs in here. He had a swimming pool here, which is now a pond. Very nice. Got fish in it. And all this is actually outside. When it's raining, he's got this huge area. And you wouldn't believe it, he's Austrian. And he grew up during the war in Austria. He was 5 when they had the Hitler Boy Scouts, the one before the Jugend, whatever it is, the Jugendkinder, Hitler Youth, Hitler Jugend, and yeah, it's nice. Huge amount of work. did 20 years ago. How come you always have it locked up now? Crazies coming.
In case, well, just in case.
I thought this place was all the crazies.
That's the trouble. You don't want anything overflowing.
Do you want a cup of coffee?
You just come to make
Just
yourself-
had one.
No, I'm not.
You haven't. Do you want a cup of coffee?
No, thank you.
Oh.
I want Pepsi now. What's in your bottle?
I only bought one. So I am going to come round in a second and set up for tomorrow and carry on up there.
That's okay. I thought you couldn't be here this week.
Did you? No. No, I wasn't. I will be now. Tomorrow.
Yay!
Yeah.
And did you see the email about the tails yet?
Not yet, no. So I'm going to look at that too.
That'd be exciting.
Yeah. Yes. Are you going out to the shop then? Is that Connie?
That's Connie.
There's Connie there. Are there any 16mm tails here? I don't know what I'm looking at, to be honest. Oh my god, I think there are. Oh no. Oh man, what a mess. They want all these changed. I don't have to do any because I haven't accepted the... I haven't
Nice you
accepted
do
it.
for us.
There you want me to change them. Them.
That looks like it needs changing anyway. Look, there's wire exposed.
No, that's fine. Stop poking your nose into things you don't understand. The ones that go into there and the ones that go into there.
What, just for them to change 1 metre?
Oh, yeah.
No,
Because-
fuses. They're not even changing the metre, they're just changing the fuses.
Yes, I know, but the fuses protect these. So basically what the problem is that so far they're protecting the smallest possible until they get to another fuse like here with a fuse in it, with fuses in it, fuse down again, then they're relying on these to protect all these. If you
And
get
clearly
that
they
big, if you
didn't
make
for
that
the same
bigger
way.
so that you can pass more current,
Well, they're
Then
just putting it to
you
what it
need-
was meant to be. They're putting 100 in.
yeah, but you can't use 16mm tails with 100.
But it was
And
marked
that's
as-
16mm tails there as well. So they need changing.
But they would have to do that, though.
No,
Suppliers.
the supplier would. Not them,
Yeah. So,
them.
so the suppliers would need to do that. Who would need to do their work first? You.
Why do you want to know that? That sounds like a bit too much for you
Organised.
to know. Yeah, it sounds like you're about to
Try and
book me in or
organise. See
something.
what books you
Yes.
in. Yeah, that's what I want to do.
That's why I want to not tell you.
So, you would need to do yours first.
Doesn't matter really
Okay.
who does them first.
Okay.
But what a mess. It's really, really difficult to get to it all and do that with this trunking in place. I don't want to look anymore. I've had enough of looking at that. I didn't come in for that torture. What's this? There we are, Felicity. It's all explained. You need to get an electrician.
Yeah, you are our electrician.
Proper electrician.
You are our proper electrician.
But bye then.
Bye. You're our proper and favourite electrician.
That's nice to know. But I can carry on being a proper and favourite electrician. Just get another one to do that work. Oh, they've got flexible... I'll get some flexible tails from Cities tomorrow. That's one good thing, I can put flexible ones in. And some flexible tails. Get them in tomorrow. And put the flexible tails in. Flexible tails. I never use anything else. I wouldn't do, except Steve Fisher keeps buying the rigid ones for us at Kingfisher Electrics, and I've got, well, I'll show you. I'm beginning to get a bit of a stash of non-flexible 25mm tails, which I'm never going to use. I'll show you here. I'm beginning to get a pile of them, you see.